set me free? Will you burn with me? Burn with me? Trapped here in this hell I made. And if I don't belong, will you set me free? Get me out of my misery. Will you burn with me? Burn with me? Trapped here in this hell I made. And if I don't belong, will you set me free? Get me out of my misery. Will you storm the gates of hell just to burn with me? Just to burn with me. Just to burn with me. Will you storm the gates of hell just to burn with me?
Ooh. Oof. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hida. Here's Rida. How is everybody doing? Every-boo-boo-boo-boo. Boo. Boo. What's up, Metal Sheep? How you doing? I'm doing all right. Had a rough week. What's up, Amelia? How's my favorite Chad? Chadris? Chadrit? You know what? I was gonna call you Chad wife as a play on words of trad wife, but then I was like, I don't think Amelia would like to be called a wife of any kind, so I was like, Chadris? Chadris? Chadrical? Categorical? Categorically? What's up, Apple? My homie Apple, dude. Apple, dude. Apple, dude. I wonder. I'm gonna test this out real quick first. Apple, dude. Yeah. Okay. Let's hear that back. Honestly, like I can kind of hear it, but it's very negligible. Very negligible. More Tomboy Apple based. Based El Basado. El Basado. Basado Pasadena. I love watching stuff. Watching stuff is great. Speaking of which, I got 2 videos specifically picked out. Get rid of these wins here. Boop. I got 2 videos picked out to watch because these are the ones I plan on uploading. But it's probably not going to take a whole stream, so we could probably browse for something else to watch after we're done with this. Ooh, but yeah, so how's everybody doing today on this fine Thursday afternoon? I kind of had what do you call it, a existential crisis during this week. This week was rough on me mentally, which is funny because like nothing really happened until yesterday. Yesterday was stupid, but like it wasn't something that bothered me. If anything, the only reason why I commented on it was because I was feeling pretty good yesterday. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give these motherfuckers a piece of my mind. But yeah, chilling, excellent. But yeah, I had to deal with being a male VTuber yesterday. A gosh darn male VTuber. How could I? How could I? How dare I be a male VTuber? A male VTuber. Imagine, of all the things. Oh snap. All right. Well, let's start off with a new Fleek video. Being a VTuber in itself is bad enough. That's true. That's true. VTubers are cringe. New Fleek video. Space Marine 2 will have you sweating like a horde in church. Let's go.
I just got sprung from jail. High five, high five, high five. Let's butcher some lore. Pain sluts, I've got good news. You win again. The new Space Marine 2 Horde mode will treat your nuts like a speed bag.
I've got that good D. I've got that good D.
Siege mode will stomp your Titanicus offitorium.
Decanitus offitorium. Decanitus offitorium. I've got to remember that.
It's a good thing the campaign made you grow a third nut, because the entire tri-school's about to get busted. You're looking for a challenge? How about this? I've got 3 hot and single carnifexes in your area that are ready to tap dance on your balls until you're talking like Mickey Mouse. I had to take up gambling on anime horsewomen and Good Brother ASMR just to cope with the performance pressure.
The Emperor loves you, brother. Brother, the Emperor loves you. Brother, why'd you start the wave early? I heard you.
Horde mode is all about pain, suffering, agony. Every time you turn around,
Brother.
100 more guys are waiting to pound you. They're waiting in line like your ass is Splash Mountain. Hell, you walk around the corner and bop, 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 someone's blasting loads into your ear. Your space
Oh, no, not
cheeks are like
loads.
Disneyland to the heretics. Your ass has become a destination. At least Space Jesus loves me, though. I'll keep that in mind for the next time I get stuck fighting his former lovers while I'm trapped in the fucking floorboard. There are so many enemies that by Wave 23, the game started letting me do takedowns on the air. Even Oxygen is a heretic now. In theory, Siege mode is fun. In reality, Siege mode is coded language where we've sent 10,000 enemies to suck and fuck you until our game breaks. I've seen a brother's computer get bricked on Wave 22. I've seen a brother's animations get shut off so he's doing takedowns with nothing going on.
Nah, this is the type of shit you can do when you haven't gotten hard in 2000 fucking years.
I've seen my Space cheeks get stuck in the floor. Hell, I've had my own AI brothers change from speaking English to Spanish. Cato became Carlos.
Brother, get the tech priest. Gary is yapping in Espanol again. Oh shit, here comes License Oriole.
This mode is so hardcore that I can't even let the Make-A-Wish Marines be on my squad anymore. I'm sorry, you're just as useless as tits on a space nut. Space Jesus wants it this way. My hands are tied. And I know you're saying,
Wait, tits on a space. Did he say tits on a space suit?
became Carlos.
Brother, get the deck
Carlos.
brace. Gary is yapping in Espanol again. Oh shit, here comes I-6
This mode is so hardcore that I can't even let the Make-A-Wish Marines be on my squad anymore. I'm sorry, you're just as useless as tits on a space nun. Space Jesus wants it this way. My hands are tied. And I know you're saying, Fleek, you're a tactician. You're not good
Yeah,
at
I didn't
anything
hear the
either.
second word he
How
said.
would the team know where the Xenos are coming from without me, huh?
My Auspex is on cooldown. Fuck it. They're over there.
Now, I don't know what we'll do without their incredible contributions, but I've come this far, and the Emperor didn't raise no bitch. He raised a problem. Space Marines have put an end to more bloodlines than OnlyFans.
We can do this, brothers.
Wow.
Follow Good stuff, brother.
Whenever I feel down, I love plowing hordes until I feel something. After I tried out that piece of shit Mind's Eye, I'm not gonna lie to you, pimp, I was feeling empty. But that emptiness was easily filled with several cheap hordes. And I'm not talking Dutch hordes, I'm talking filthy $2 Tijuana hordes. The dirtier the horde, the better. I've never felt better. Hell, I think the cure to depression is plowing a hardy horde. Medical fact. But there's a saying in Texas, never plow a horde raw. If you're plowing these hordes without mods, get ready to catch a disease of the mind. You'll get syphilis like Nietzsche and start jibber-jabbering. I tried plowing a horde unmodded once, and it had me
Horde.
sweating like a horde in church. If I had to sum up my experience, I would say... And if I had to expound, I wouldn't. Listen, what I'm trying to say is this. Horde mode put me at a crossroads. Get good at the game, or become CJ with a flamethrower that has unlimited ammo. But I'm no cheater, and under no circumstances would I ever mod a game. I modded the game.
Bitch, I'm back on my coma.
We're gonna burn, and we're gonna maim, because we're doing every fucking night!
Oh shit. Here we go again.
The first mod I grabbed is the mod that gives me the heavy flamer. Why? Because I believe in the Retortes Codex.
Sir, are you allowed to say that word? You can in my chapter.
Forget your little space book. I live on my own code. And on page 1 of our codex, it says all must wield a heavy flamer in the name of Space Jesus. In fact, it's actually the only page in there. It's more of a Retortes pamphlet. The heavy flamer, aka the climate changer, aka the bug spray,
The heavy bug spray.
is essential for horde mode. There's a reason why the salamanders love this gun, and it's because it kills the most heretics per second. When I see that filthy little rat sprinkling his little fentanyl dust, he burns. When I see that witch shooting fent ropes and reviving comrades, he burns. When I see a basement full of bugs,
They burn. It's not so fun when it's you getting bumped, is it?
and whatever can't get melted by
It's a
fire
little
will
fun.
get melted by lead. Take the Biovore, for example. Problem, they're fucking cockroaches with cannons strapped to their head. Solution, Imperial Mac-10 with 57-round extended magazine and a fire rate that would make an AC-130 blush. Even in space, there's not a single problem that can't be solved by a fully automatic weapon. But the more important question is, why are they called salamanders? It's because they like having sex with bugs. If you see a space marine out there wearing dark green, just know that means that they want to fuck the Geico gecko.
Fleek, it actually means...
Silence, Leonard! The Retortes Codex has spoken. And as long as we're talking about the lore, I'd like to correct a lore mistake I made a few videos back. I think I called the Space Marines space racists, but they're just not that small-minded. They don't care if an orc is from Sweden or Madagascar. They care that they are an orc. Therefore, they must... The second problem to fix was matching their numbers. I don't like that Space Jesus stiffed us by sending 3 men against 3 armies. What, is he broke now? I didn't realize that Space Jesus was a dusty bitch these days. Over in Dawn of War 2, they give you 15 men to go burn down 1 greenskin orphanage. Here, that cuck Leandros decided we shouldn't even earn minimum wage here. He decided in exchange for fighting 2 million bugs that my big blue ass should be put on food stampicus. So you know what I said? I said,
Fuck that, brother.
the second mod is the Trust Fund Marine mod. Now everything we get from the shop is free.
Know your worth, brother.
Wanna buy a harem of
Brother.
Imperial Guardsmen? I don't know why you'd want to. All they're good at is dying in funny ways, but have at it. If they were gonna make them useless, they should have at least made them cat girls, which are...
Yes. I second this notion. Please give us cat girls. I've never even played Space Marine, but if they give us cat girls, I'll play it.
In the lore, by the way. Wouldn't you agree with that, lore goblins? Fantastic. Want to call in 6 Space Marines at the same time? A brother shouldn't have to suffer alone. In fact, get the entire team to do it, and you'll have 18 brothers fighting alongside you. Look at them, they're raring to go to battle. Now when I get dive tackled, I don't get stun locked for long enough to set down the controller, raise a family, pay them through college, start a second family on the other side of town, and pay them through college. No, now an entire fucking regiment checks them.
I got you, brother! No, brother, I got you! No, brother, I got you! No, brother, I got you!
But a brother's gotta know his limitation. He has to know when he's hit a wall, so he knows when to call in a dreadnought to smash that fucking wall down. Dreadnoughts are what a Space Marine's Make-A-Wish looks like. It's also what mine looks like. You know how BioShock has Little Girl and Big Daddy? The Space Marines are the little girl, dreadnoughts are the Big Daddy. You want my advice for living a prosperous life? Die. Now. But before you do that, buy a dreadnought and a revive relic so that you can let the dread kill everything once you die, and then hit the Narcan once he's all finished up. Your job now is to be a good little 600-pound passenger princess with 24-inch biceps. Now what does this have to do with the mod? I'm glad you asked, man. The mod lets me call in my special boy every way. If you're struggling, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, swipe the Emperor's credit card, and buy a dreadnought every wave to fix all your problems. I don't get why people say this mode is hard. He comes in, he fires one rocket at a wall, then one rocket at a closed door, then with 75% of the timer left, he pulls his real special move, leaving. That's what my special boy does. One time, there was an enemy that was trapped in spawn, so we tried throwing grenades at him, but that just made the problem worse. Enter the Dreadnought. We bought him for 100 coins. He spawns in. 15 seconds later, that's right, he leaves. The Ratarkes Codex approves of this action. Enter the second Dreadnought. He spawns in. That's right, does nothing. So we decided to give him some words of encouragement.
You are fucking worthless.
Then he teleported to exactly where the Xeno was under the map and purged his ass. Burn down, false idol.
Oh wait, he's down there.
He learned. He took the word. You got it, buddy. You did it, buddy. Space Jesus wasn't there for me, so I had to give in to chaos. To have the flamer, you must also have the uwu on every heavy attack.
Yes.
It was my penance. My plight. God, it's beautiful. I do not aim with my eyes. He who aims with his eyes has forgotten the face of his father. I aim with my uwus. But senpai, that's heresy. Doing the horde mode normally, you got a 50-50 shot of winning, brother. Use all the mods I just listed, and that adds 30% to your 50%, giving you a 66% chance of winning. But there's a mod that lets you bring up to 12 brothers. Then if we all grab 5 of the AI brothers, we add 60 brothers to our 12 brothers,
and we'll have 76 brothers total, which adds 33 and a third percent chance to our already 66 chance of winning, giving us a 103% chance of winning. That's flinker math, and the math doesn't lie. The Xenos won't stand a chance. We are genetic freaks, and we're not normal. Applications are open now. You must like excruciating pain and cat girls. You also must be open to the idea of your computer overheating and exterminating your entire apartment. But let's not get lost in the details. Fax me your submission, brothers. I'll be waiting.
in this long-ass queue for Battlefield 6. God damn! Thank you to the flock of pimps for bankrolling this video, and another huge thanks to all the pimpers. I will see you all to commit some more war crimes on the modern front as soon as I can get past this queue. Goddamn.
Hell yeah. Oh, another Fleek video. Fleeked up. Oh, that game looks interesting. It's really not my genre though. But again, if they do add cat girls, I'm in. I'm there. All right, time for the meat and potatoes here. Why do women hate Sydney Sweeney by Shoe on Head? Who is Sydney Sweeney? I don't know. I am too boomer for even the point of this video, but I will probably learn in the next 30 minutes. So let's go.
So if you've been living under a rock, you probably haven't heard that Sydney Sweeney
What's up,
was
Sampo?
in an American Eagle commercial.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Get it? Jeans? Jeans? Because she's attractive? And she is. I can see why men like her. She has a really cute face and a nice body. But personally, my favorite thing about Sydney Sweeney is that she's a Nazi. Did they mean to include a bunch of Nazi dog whistles in this? How the f did she agree to this? Actual Nazi ad. The only way Sydney Sweeney would be okay with doing an ad like this is if she was a Nazi.
This is Nazi shit.
Yay. Guys, is it gay to like hot women? Seriously though, is it gay to like hot women? Because like, something I noticed specifically in Tekken, right? Specifically when playing Tekken, is that every character that I play who is a hot woman, because I am a gooner, has a primarily gay male fan base. I'm like, why does this happen? Shouldn't you guys be playing the buff shirtless dudes? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Stop the ad! That is being racist!
Some of you guys might be too young to remember, but back in the day when an ugly girl was jealous of a pretty girl, she would simply call her a whore. But that's a good thing now, so we have to call her racist. I am going to be completely honest, I have no idea what movies Sydney Sweeney is in. All I know, she is a very popular celebrity, and I always see discourse on Twitter about her being mid. What is wrong with you people? Who is not mid nowadays? I saw Anne Hathaway get called mid the other day. Anne Hathaway. If these women are mid, I'm like a sub-zero. I'm like a -2. I am like a horseshoe crab on the bottom of the ocean.
I disagree with that. I think at the very least, that picture she used of Anne Hathaway, I would say that she was more attractive. Maybe it's just because I'm a super Omega simp, but you know, it is what it is.
Horseshoe crabs are pretty base though. 445 million years, no evolution. That's me. Millions of years on YouTube, no evolution. Sydney Sweeney has like a fun, bubbly personality. She seems like she enjoys being feminine, and it seems like she doesn't hate men, which is a big plus. She really plays into the like, I'm a hot blonde bombshell, I have big titties thing, which, are we back to liking titties as a society? Didn't Kim Kardashian deflate her ass recently? That's how I knew the ass fad was over. The fall of Kim Kardashian's ass and the rise of Sydney Sweeney. Besides, ass, titties, no, I don't objectify women. I respect women, okay? The only thing that matters to me is a woman's mind. And thighs. What is like the male body equivalent?
I mean, they are connected if you think about it. It's like, if you're good between a woman's thighs, she'll lose her mind.
Equivalent to this debate, abs or arms? Personally, I love a good forearm. I love a good, nice, thick, manly wrist. And you know what looks great on a wrist? A watch. Which brings
Ad time. Hold on. You know, I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of the way I look in general in real life because I'm a self-loathing fucking loser. But I will say, the one thing I do think looks good is my forearms. My forearms are pretty nice.
brings us to today's sponsor, Holtzkern. So let's quickly give them a shout out before we get into today's video, shall we? Holtzkern is a young Austrian company that creates unique watches, jewelry, and accessories using all natural materials like wood and stone. Their high-quality timepieces come in various designs for both men and women, making them the perfect choice for any style or occasion. All of Holtzkern's products are manufactured in small quantities to ensure responsible and ethical production, while making sure each item is built to last. I personally love the kaleidoscope watch with the little flower design on the pearl dial. I think it is so beautiful and so cute. I'm obsessed with it. The glass is made of sapphire crystal, making it scratch resistant, while the strap is crafted from koa wood, and it's water resistant as well.
Koa wood? They use that to make guitars sometimes. I know there's an Explorer made of koa that I'd kind of like to I'd like to have one day.
There's also the Moonrise watch, which is made from genuine white marble and stainless steel. It shows the weekday, date, and even the current moon phase, which is really cool. I think all their products make very beautiful gifts, and since they're all made from natural materials, they're all very unique. All their items come with a 2-year warranty, and ordering online is super easy with free worldwide shipping within 5 to 9 business days.
Like a digital
and if you're in the
wall clock,
US,
that'll
don't
show me,
worry,
like, extra
Holzkern handles the custom feeds for you, so no unexpected drama there. Just click my link in the description below and use my special discount code SHOE to get 15% off your order. Plus, if you additionally sign up for their free premium club membership, you'll get access to exclusive products, special discounts, and early pre-sales. But if you only want to check things out for now, no pressure, you can just sign up, come back later, and you'll still get a special discount on your first purchase. So if you're looking for a unique gift or just want to treat yourself to a nice watch, I highly suggest checking out Holzkern. Big thank you to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get back to it. My jeans are brown.
Ooh.
Sounds like I shit my pants.
The woke outrage over Sydney Sweeney's ad has gone from, well, bad to worse. Some people.
My jeans are brown. It reminds me of that fetch me my brown pants joke.
People have taken issue with the phrase great genes being used over images of a blonde, blue-eyed woman.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
TikTok and
that's kind of amazing. Like, you want my opinion on this person? Here's my opinion. If they're on my side, then I like them. I'm going to start saying that from now on. Just like, I don't know who this person is, but here's my opinion on them. If they're on my side, they're cool.
Twitter absolutely blew up with thousands and thousands of people calling this ad fascist propaganda. Yes, they literally took the jeans and jeans pun to be some kind of Nazi dog whistle because Sydney Sweeney is an attractive blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, which apparently has been an extinct species for so long in advertisement that when people saw this, they got scared and thought they saw the ghost of Hitler. Is Sydney Sweeney a Nazi?
The ghost of Hitler's
but do these
past.
people kind of have a point about this ad? Also no, they are unwell. But let's hear them out. Let's watch some of these TikToks. Let's listen to them, listen to their points. We're not gonna be mean. We're not gonna own the libs, okay? We are going to hear them out.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it. That's Nazi propaganda.
Holy 2014 Tumblr. What the f? Out here looking like she walked straight out of a Stone Toss comic. Looking like you're going on the thumbnail of this video. Listen, if your bangs end in the middle of your forehead, you don't have to tell me your political opinions. I know them. I can tell. Okay, sorry. I got it out of my system.
Listen, guys, bangs on a woman are very important, I found out. Like, I didn't actually know this, but a woman's bangs are like secret lore about a woman. If you know what the bangs mean, then you already like know like 70% about that woman.
Let's continue.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird.
So this commercial was apparently a reference to an old Brooke Shields commercial from the 80s.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. This may result in the origin of an entirely new species, which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin Klein jeans.
Oh my god, she turns into a swastika. She was like 14 in that ad, by the way. Really creepy. So at least Sydney Sweeney is of legal age. 14 is actually pretty old for Brooke Shields if you know her history and her lore. If anything, that is the most f***ed up thing about this Sydney Sweeney ad, referencing an old ad of a child star who was abused by Hollywood. But yeah, it was a callback to an old commercial. And Sydney Sweeney is the current day hot celebrity, so they chose to do it with her. They unfortunately failed to consider the fact that in current year, white people are not allowed to say that they have good genes because that is Nazi propaganda.
A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes.
I bet you that girl has so many followers. I really should just get into the rage baiting business.
Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster.
A white, blonde, blue-eyed, Hitler's wet dream talking about how much she loves her genetics.
It's not just giving eugenics, it's giving male fantasy.
I like how eugenics and being attractive to men are like equally terrible things to these people.
Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad is giving ethnic state propaganda. It is giving dystopian. It is giving 1940s Germany.
Why?
If you use it's giving, I hate you. Oh my god. Oh, actual hatred for something Zoomers have come up with. Like this isn't just unironic, or this isn't just ironic like, oh, those silly Zoomers. No, that literally pisses me off. I don't know what it is.
Do they all speak the same? Why do they all do the same shit? They all say the same shit. It's giving. It's giving.
Put a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman in an ad and say she has good genes.
See, that girl's kind of cute though. But like your bitchy personality is like just completely, well, that's probably why she can have a bitchy personality, because like, you know, the dudes who she goes after are like, oh, you know what, she's cute, and then they plow her for a while, and then they get sick of her bitchy personality, and then they move on. So she just gets away with it.
I don't know if I can say this, but it's literally giving Nazi propaganda.
It's giving. Also,
It's
the flesh-colored microphone. Why? It's giving dick, okay?
It's
giving penis. It's giving cock.
I can't believe I actually have to explain this, but there is a reason that they picked a girl named Sydney Sweeney for.
I can't believe I actually have to explain this, but your eyes are running from each other. What the hell? Jesus, this lady, like, oh my god. Oh my god, she looks like an alien. It's fucking weird.
This ad, and it's not just her blonde hair and her blue eyes. Sydney Sweeney is laying with her German Shepherd dog in this shoe. Her name is Sydney Sweeney, so her initials are SS. They intentionally included her German Shepherd dog.
Okay, she's an idiot, but I absolutely love what she's doing here. This is like an old school conspiracy theory. Like, what do you call them? Like conspiracy theory trope, where they just like lull these people, exactly, where you just like take a bunch of things that have nothing to do with anything, but word play it, or like into it being having something to do with it. I actually love that trope and that genre of conspiracy theory bullshit. But this lady's an idiot.
In the photo shoot.
Oh my god. Take your meds. Meds. Her name is Sydney Sweeney.
What's up,
Her
Shank?
initials are SS, like the Nazis. The dog is a German Shepherd. German, like the Nazis. Are they putting crack in birth control nowadays? What is going on?
It's giving crack. This is the math conspiracy thing. If you add 3 divided by 17 and read into the 22nd cycle of the moon, yeah. Like Roosevelt's last name was Lincoln or something like that. You know, like I forget how the actual thing goes. Remember Palletophobia and their Illuminati stuff. Yeah, what's up, Chank? How you doing, homie?
She is a hot woman. She is a hot woman because of the way she looks. She looks the way she looks because of genetics. She has great genes. That is how a normal person sees it. She's blonde and has blue eyes and her initials are SS and she has a German Shepherd. Is how a schizophrenic, politically brain-rotted person sees it.
But I mean, looking at that girl, man, her brain is literally trying to escape her head from her nose because her eyes are already so far apart. It's so crazy.
for calling American Eagle. This is Jess. How can I help today?
Hi, I am a marketing student and was wondering if I could speak to someone who could maybe give me some insight as to what estimated return on investment there has to be willing to use white supremacy and eugenics as your marketing campaign.
On a marketing campaign?
The lady on the phone is clearly very foreign. She's literally like, you can tell she has no idea what the hell this chick's talking about.
Harassing some poor worker, doesn't even fucking speak English, has all to do with the commercial. These people are sick.
Yes, I recently saw American Eagle's eugenics marketing campaign where they used that white blonde girl and talked about how good her genes were in a time where racism is rampant in the U.S.
I see. Thank you for taking time to share your feedback.
Why are you bothering this random ass Filipino woman with your West Wing ass TED talk? Nobody gives a f.
Okay, so there's no way to, as a student, I can't learn about when eugenics makes sense in marketing? No one on the marketing team can talk to me about that?
I miss like 50 years ago when these people would just be serial killers instead of doing whatever the f this is. She's even got other celebrities seething.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Haha, she did a dumb redneck voice, get it? Because all white people are dumb inbred hicks? Good one, Doja. Hey, by the way, why are you pandering to the same exact people who got your ass canceled for wearing a Sam Hyde shirt once? They all think you're racist too, girl, but nice try. Hope they see this.
Doja Cat is making fun of Sydney Sweeney's ad only because she realized after all those years of her kissing up to white supremacists, they're never going to accept her because she's a half-black woman. Wearing the Sam Hyde shirt, you dating all these white supremacists. So make fun of the ad all you want, but we'll never forget you rolling around in those chat rooms showing white supremacists your feet so they can make fun of your black ass.
Oh, they did see it, and they still hate you.
Weird adverts aside about how the best genes are characterized in a conventional...
Is that H-Bomber guy? He looks a lot like H-Bomber guy, except with hair.
Attractive, white, blonde, blue-eyed woman. Not true. I mean, look at me. Within 5 years, or as soon as she shows any sign of aging, that's it. The moment she becomes visibly over 25.
Enjoy the ride now, babe, before you get too old and ugly and hit the wall.
This guy's accent already tells me his opinion is meaningless. Yeah, good old Europeans thinking they have any kind of opinions.
But wokely. This is just something I've noticed in the decade of criticizing feminism on the internet. Male feminists are the most misogynistic, sexist freaks ever when they finally have an acceptable, approved target to go after. God forbid you are...
Sometimes not even then. Like, just look at like all the... Every fucking VTuber male that got outed as a sex pest through a Google Doc have always been fucking leftist feminist men. Always. Always.
A woman with the incorrect opinion, because hell hath no fury like a male feminist replying to you.
A strawberry blonde, blue-eyed woman marketing having great genes. This is just a whole eugenics campaign, and I, for one, would like to throw myself off a balcony.
Do it.
Do it.
Do a backflip.
Jinx. Shoo. Jinx, you owe me a soda. Clip that. Someone clip that. Send it to Shoo. Tell her she owes me a soda. Jinx, you owe me a soda, Shoo.
Live stream it. Also, these people just straight up don't know what the eugenics movement is. Talking about genetics is not eugenics. Sydney Sweeney did not say she had the best genes or superior genes or that other people had bad inferior genes. Someone even made it like a fake ad like Beyonce has better genes, and it's like, why'd you pick the picture where she has like a blonde wig on?
This campaign is poking at women's greatest and most tender insecurity under the patriarchy, which is desirability in the beauty standard.
See, the thing is, this girl is nice looking. But I mean, like, her hair's straightened, though. Is that what your hair really looks like? Is it? I mean, it might be. It might be. I don't know. But I don't know. I think straightening your hair is appropriating my culture.
Affects not only non-white women, even though this is clearly white supremacist Aryan race propaganda, but it also adversely affects the majority of white women who do not naturally have blonde hair and blue eyes. Because yes, even the women who can achieve this look have to do it through artificial means in one way or another. The vast majority of white women are not naturally blonde. And of course, lots of white women are also insecure about having brown eyes.
Complaining about the beauty standard while wearing bright lipstick, eyeshadow, contour, blush. Hey, I don't even notice all that stuff, man. I'm a what do you call it? I'm a dumb guy, right? I'm a dumb guy. I don't even see all that shit. Blonde hair is overrated. Honestly, with the exception of my blonde hair, because my hair is long, blonde, and luxurious. It's my best physical feature, right above my forearms. I think my hair is my best feature. Second place would be my forearms. And then third place would be my calves. That's it. Those are the three best physical features I have.
So that's a whole generation of young.
Oh wait, hold on. Wow. I spent so much time talking about me, I forgot to talk about what I like about women. That is so weird. That never happens, actually, because I fucking hate me and I love women. On women, I actually prefer brown and black hair and red. But it probably just comes from the fact that my mom was a bleach blonde my whole life. So, like, you know, it's kind of that, like, that kind of reminds me of her kind of thing, I guess.
White women who are being further propagandized to purchase blonde hair dye and contacts for the rest of all time.
Okay, what? Are attractive women just not allowed to model anymore because, like, God forbid it makes some other women insecure? And as someone with brown eyes, I've never once felt insecure about having...
Listen, I've said this a lot of times, right? But her eyes are my favorite thing about Shu. Like, granted, she goes heavy on the makeup, and that accentuates, you know, the features that I like about them, but her eyes are the money shot for me.
Brown eyes. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into Hyperborea, but I've seen myself photoshopped with blue eyes. Horrifying. So we've gone from Nazi propaganda to genocide.
That's like crystal blue, though. Like, just, if you Photoshop or, like, put blue contacts in, it won't be that bad. But also, you don't need to. Like, you don't need to have blue eyes to be attracted. You just don't need it.
To racism to now, poor little girls are gonna feel insecure because they don't have blue eyes like Sydney Sweeney.
Another.
Unless it's a rare color, I'm never noticing someone's eye color. I love women's eyes, so it's kind of one of the first things I notice. As long as I can look at them comfortably enough to discern that kind of thing, right? That's what bugs me about all attractive isn't allowed to exist, which lowers us all to the lowest common denominator. That's some dystopian horror right there. True.
The thing about the Sydney Sweeney beauty standard that is very important to note is that big boobs are a hallmark of what conservative men are attracted.
Liberal men like big boobs too, or are you talking about the liberal men that like to groom children? Because obviously children have small boobs. Are those the liberal men that you look for?
do. At the end of the early 2000s and through the 2010s, we were becoming a more progressive society, and so we also naturally progressed to be a more ass-centric society.
In the 2000s, we were becoming more progressive.
Hold on. Hold on. So, hold on. Hold on. So, okay. So it's okay to like big asses. And I'm pretty sure she's only saying that because black people like big asses. And she's black. So that's why it's okay to like big asses. Not big boobs, even though the biggest titties I've ever seen in my life were always attached to black women. With the exception of maybe Hitomi Tanaka. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how one is okay and the other is not.
Progressive, so we started objectifying women's butts. What? The communist utopia will be ass-centric, apparently. I didn't know the ass versus tits thing was political. How does she know conservatives are all boob men? Conservatives in the audience, are you a boobs or butt guy? What?
So, me, I am a leg guy. And I agree with Amelia. It's more about shape than size for me when it comes to boobs and ass. Like, if you got a small ass and a small set of tits, but you're also small, and like you're very nice and shapely, like that drives me wild. Like Noelle Vermillion from Blaze Blue, for example, one of my longtime waifus. She is tiny, and I love that shit.
What political affiliation are the feet men? Libertarians. Listen, they can try to disguise it with their little intersectionality buzzwords all they want, but at the end of the day, women just want a socially acceptable reason to hate other women. That's
True.
it.
Good genes passed on to offspring? That American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear a mask when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort, is also eugenics.
1 second. $2025.
Shoo, why is your camera feed always mirrored? I don't understand. Is it because the American flag in your background is backwards? Because if that's the case, wouldn't it have just been easier to turn the flag around? I don't understand. No, feet guys' political opinions are just wrong.
We are talking about wearing masks for COVID in 2025. I like how she
records on a phone? Does she really? Does that matter? I don't know.
She's woke scolding the other woke scolds for not woke scolding about her particular pet issue. COVID broke the brains of so many of these people, man. It's because it's when the world was just a giant, safe HR longhouse where it was socially acceptable for them to be moral busybodies and never leave their home. It was like the closest to their lib shit utopia that we have ever gotten, and they miss it.
I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why this American Eagle ad would...
Okay, so first of all, what the fuck is up with... Is she wearing something? Or is that... Like, it looks like she's literally shoved into a cylinder? Like, what's up with that? Like, at first I thought maybe she just got out of the shower. But, yeah, like, why is she like this for a video? I don't understand. Is it because she knows she's attractive and what she's saying is 100% bullshit because she knows she's actually physically attractive and she's accentuating it by dressing like this? Could that possibly be one of the reasons? I don't know.
Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting.
Listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, but we live in a predominantly white country. If you go to another country, there will be a different beauty standard. If you go to the country of your ancestors, there will be a different beauty standard, and maybe it will look more like you. But again, she didn't say her genes were better or the best, and it's not like all the hot popular celebrities look like Sydney Sweeney. Look at Ana de Armas, look at Zendaya. They don't look anything like Sydney Sweeney, and they are known as very beautiful around Hollywood. This is why corporations and the media think in order to pander to the female gaze, everything has to be like average and frumpy and ugly, because women can't stop fucking projecting their insecurities. Not every character in a movie or a video game has to look like you. Not everyone in an ad.
I don't want any character in a gamer in a game that I'm playing to look like me, because then it's like, I don't know, it's weird. Like I don't want to like, because then no, I don't want to. I don't like. I'd rather them be like me instead of look like me, because being like me matters more to me than what I look like. Because I mean, I know I look like a fucking train wreck, so. That's why I'm trying to get people to like my personality. I don't know anyone who thinks Zendaya is hot, and I criticize her harder for her acting, which is that of a comatose potato. Chank, I think you're behind a lot, by the way.
Has to look like you. Hell, the only time I see people who look like me is when I turn on the live-action Grinch movie. You notice men never say this shit, by the way? They usually go like, wow, that man is strong. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go to the gym. And women are like, wow, that woman is thin. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go complain.
What makes Sydney Sweeney's genes better? Like, why did you get that joke? All us woke people are saying is that it's just a little bit weird to directly reference European genes as better.
Again, she never said that her genes were better. You are making it up.
Now, when you think of the all-American girl, like the standard of like American beauty, you probably think blonde hair, blue eyes, white girl, right? You're not supposed to think that way.
You're not supposed to think that way, guys. That's double plus ungood.
That's like, that's ingrained in you because of negative things that have been pushed on you by society.
When you think about the all-American woman, you should be thinking about an obese, transgender, disabled woman or something. What would be an acceptable vision of the American woman for this person? It's insane she's saying that we think Sydney Sweeney is hot because of negative things that have been pushed on us by society. No, bitch, we have eyes. And just because she is attractive does not mean you are also not attractive. Look at your full lips. That is a standard of beauty I'll never live up to, but that's okay.
See, I agree with what she was saying here. Like, this is a funny frame. But like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and like I can say that I am objectively unattractive, but there are still people out there that would find me attractive. Meanwhile, my type, for example, is much closer, like as far as physically, my type is much closer than that crazy, like, you know, the full lipped lady than it is Sydney Sweeney. Like Sydney Sweeney's hot. Like she's conventionally attractive, but like the unkempt look of the crazy girl, like I prefer that. Right? Like that's just how it is. It's like, you know, like, so what, like, it's just fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just trying to live.
Okay, because I have other things that are beautiful and unique about me, just like you have other things that are beautiful and unique about you, regardless if Sydney Sweeney is held up as the American beauty standard. These are lessons your mother should have taught you, not a YouTuber. Sydney Sweeney's ad shows a cultural shift towards whiteness. Advertisements are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Boo! A white woman. Oh, the fucking author is white. I hate these people, man. Shut up. Shut up. It's one thing when it's like a non-white person talking about how white people suck. It's like, okay, you're just racist. But when it's a white person talking about white people suck, you need to be ground up into a pulp and fed to livestock. You not.
Because then it's like, oh, I'm sorry for being white. Please think I'm cool. Please think I'm one of the good ones. Disheveled librarian is peak. Absolutely. Messy's a cool look, but they still need to shower. Yes, of course. But it's cool if they look like they don't shower. Does that make sense? Like, they can't smell bad. But, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I like the comfy look. It's just always been my thing. The comfy girl.
Honestly, be more useful that way. Ads are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Popular American culture is, indisputably, becoming more puritanical and more conservative. Puritanical? The focus of the ad was her tits and ass! This is not at all a conservative, puritanical ad. Have you seen what the puritanical right thinks of Sydney Sweetie? They think she's a whore, okay? They think she's a whore. The backlash has been swift and fierce, and some of it, at least if you ask me, is fair. The internet has been quick to condemn the advertisement as non-inclusive at best. Non-inclusive? Why the f does everything have to be inclusive? It's a commercial with one fucking person in it. Sweeney exudes a source of vintage sexiness that caters to the male gaze. She embodies the near mythological girl next door beautiful but low maintenance sexy femininity that dominated the media in the 1990s and early 2000s. Oh wow, that sounds great. You're telling me that's fascism? Waiter, more fascism please. What the f? It's just so funny, like, the left is currently losing their mind about how, like, they need to get young men to vote for Democrats again, and here they are like, blondes with big are fascism. Listen, the alt-right pipeline does not start with the American Eagle ad. It starts with you. What are you doing? Yeah. This is not at all a conservative far.
Listen, I was a super mindless liberal back before Trump. I was a super mindless liberal back before Trump. And then when Trump got elected, everyone just became so awful that I just started to rage bait them because it was fun for me. And now most people who talk to me would consider me more right-leaning, but I still think I'm more of a slightly left libertarian. Slavery had been happening long before white people got to it. White people stopped it happening in their countries, and it still happens in non-white countries. Yes. True. But you're not allowed to say that, though. You're not allowed to say that.
Far-right ad. It's just a normal ad that would have ran like 15 years ago. But I guess that's what being far-right is nowadays. Being normal from 15 years ago. I love this random part of the article, though. Young women are being radicalized through so-called clean skincare and healthy eating. So fascism is hot people eating healthy and having clean skin. Goebbels himself could not make better propaganda. Literally, as I am editing this video, the New York Times comes out with his opinion piece, Why the Right is Obsessed with Thinness. I would really, really appreciate if people stopped equating health and beauty to fascism, because if health and beauty are fascism, what is unhealthiness and ugliness? Unfortunately, a big part of socially progressive ideology is dismantling hierarchies and norms, and challenging what society sees as conventional, traditional, and beautiful. A really good example of this was those statues that were put up like all over different cities of like a frumpy woman in leggings. And the artist says like the purpose of these was to like challenge conventional beauty standards. And it's like, imagine looking like one of these women and then hearing like, oh yeah, this was put up to challenge beauty. Like, what do you mean by that? Remember the whole body positivity movement like 10 years ago? Remember like all the fat influencers? Remember when every single ad was like this ad, for example? Calvin Klein's latest underwear campaign is breaking big boundaries. Big boundaries? Whoa. What do you mean by that? While fashion is starting to seriously consider creating more inclusive environment for consumers, there is still a huge mountain to climb before it is truly considered diverse. Huge mountain? No, that's just mean. And that's why Calvin Klein, probably the most famous name associated with underwear, just launched a groundbreaking campaign. Groundbreaking? Oh, come on now. The campaign is all about feeling free to express yourself, being uninhibited, and being provocative by challenging the norms we see on a regular basis. See? Challenging norms. It's all about challenging norms. This reminds me of that protein world controversy from 2015. Old heads will remember. I wrote an article about it for the Libertarian Republic. Wow, that was a long time ago. But anyway, a billboard with this ad for a protein powder supplement was put up and people lost their fucking minds. They vandalized it, they threatened to get a bunch of the employees fired, they threatened to go where the company was located with hammers, all because they committed the great crime of body shaming by daring to have a thin, attractive woman on their ad. This ad made other companies come out with their own like little virtue signaling things, like passive aggressive, like everybody is ready. Like every fashion magazine, every beauty magazine was pumping this out the time, just fat, 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 fat. The rise of like Tess Holiday and the hashtag F your beauty standards. Oh my god. You could not escape this. Also, suspiciously, body positivity only seemed to mean obese women.
Yeah.
But yes, everywhere you looked, it.
Yep. If you were a fat guy, nope, fuck you. You're a creepy incel. Creepy incel. No body positivity for you.
Was like fat, 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 and everyone was like, yes, queen. Well, now we live in Ozempic world, and the fat acceptance movement seems to have died. Like many of the fat influencers, unfortunately. And these same types of people are like crashing out about the Sydney Sweeney ad because they really do feel like all the work they have done to like socially engineer people's behavior and preferences has been just like destroyed overnight. Who would win? Decades of propaganda? One big booby girl. I wrote in the old article, I can't say I'm too surprised at the backlash towards this model's body. We are living in a world where instead of striving to better ourselves and live a healthy lifestyle, praising obesity and unattractiveness is becoming the norm. Well, shoe on head from 10 years ago, you will be happy to hear that it seems like it's no longer the norm. Because apparently not just American Eagle, but like Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's are using hot people in their ads again. Is the culture truly healing, or are we about to go into a deep financial recession? Questions we should be asking. Angry Reddit freaks also doxed Sydney, looking through her voting records and found out she's a registered Republican. One of the most common things I saw about this were how, like, all the women getting mad about Sydney Sweeney were ugly, and I don't think that's true. There were some, like, pretty people in there. But it got onto this topic that I see all the time, and that is, why are liberal women so ugly? Leftists are ugly, conservatives are hot, which is not true, by the way. I was at January 6th, okay? But for the most
No, like it. No, there are hot people on both sides. There are ugly people on both sides. Have big buff dudes in any fried chicken ads talk about protein? Yes. Yes.
part, stereotypes exist for a reason, right? Conservatives are, well, conservative with the way that they present themselves. They tend to follow norms and beauty standards, which is why, for example, the media called Hassan a, quote, progressive in a MAGA body. And how so many women on dating apps nowadays are looking for a man who votes Democrat but looks like a Republican. Everyone is aware of the stereotypes. And with leftists, you know the stereotype, like the overweight, blue hair, nose ring. They're not all ugly, of course, but many purposely make themselves look ugly. Because being ugly is saying f you to the man. Marcel Duchamp's art piece, Fountain, which was literally just a urinal, was a f you to art institutions and classical ideas of beauty. Those f-ass ugly concrete block brutalist buildings are another example. Brutalism emerged after World War II as a post-war modernist style, in part created as a f you to the classical architecture celebrated by, drumroll, the Nazis. Now think of those concrete buildings and the urinal and apply it to broader society. Basically, the blue hair and nose ring is a f you to, well, Sydney Sweeney. Hitler existed, so now everything has to be fat and ugly. Sorry. I don't know why so many on the left want to give the concept of beauty and health to the right, but it is not a winning strategy. Listen, I just want everyone's basic needs met, alright? I don't want people going in debt if they get into a car accident, or be homeless, or get sent to foreign wars. I didn't sign up for this stupid shit. It is funny though how like every time Sydney Sweeney is on camera, there's like a right-wing article like, woke is dead. Wokeness is no match for Sydney Sweeney's undeniable beauty. Are Sydney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the death of woke? Was that girl right about conservatives being boob guys? She might have been right after all. Honestly, this doesn't really make sense because like the left are the ones trying to normalize porn and like OnlyFans culture and stuff.
That's what drives me nuts, because it's like the left do go crazy about like, oh, we, you know, fucking OnlyFans and sex workers are like the best and they deserve all this blah blah blah. But they're the same people that if they see a hot chick in a video game, they're like, oh no, this isn't good. We can't have this. This is objectification. People can look however they're comfortable with. I forgot what I was going to write after this.
Like that. If anything, there is too much boobs everywhere. We need to calm down a bit. But when it comes to Sydney's like classical bombshell beauty, like I kind of get where they're coming from. Sydney Sweeney is a hot white woman who does not mind catering to the male gaze after we had a decade of hearing about how the male gaze is bad and toxic. A decade of hearing about how white people are bad and toxic.
The male gaze is bad unless you're a liberal who's on OnlyFans. If you're on OnlyFans, the male gaze is great. But if you're a Hollywood actress, the male gaze is bad. It's a weird double standard to have.
A decade of ugly, angry, fat androgyny seeping its way into everything and anything. When people say Sydney Sweeney is anti-woke, I don't even think they mean politically. I think they just mean like Sydney Sweeney is like looking into a time portal back to 1992, a time when porn addiction wasn't such a big issue. Every woman didn't show her hole online for $5. Hookup apps didn't exist. It's like a bunch of millennials and zoomers are longing for a time they never experienced. But yes, this is a cultural shift, but not necessarily a conservative one. Just a return to like normalcy, a return to normal Americana consumerism. In 2065, conservatives are gonna be like posting people twerking like, return! These same TikTok freaks who are attacking Sydney Sweeney have been sounding the alarm about this cultural shift for some time now. And we see a bunch of celebrities embracing like looking normal and healthy again. Like Demi Lovato is a perfect example of this. She was an obese, short hair, walking stereotype, crying about a frozen yogurt place, daring to sell sugar-free frozen yogurt.
I walked in, was so triggered that I left without froyo.
To now being skinny and healthy and married, and even making a TikTok dancing happily in that same frozen yogurt place.
The singer returning to the scene of the crime Wednesday, poking fun at herself on her socials.
That's part of the reason these people are freaking out and saying like fascist aesthetics, because they know the chokehold they have had on culture is losing its grip. Inshallah. Once Sam Smith goes back to being normal, that's when I know the culture is healing. Thankfully, American Eagle did not bend the knee and did not apologize to the horde. In fact, they doubled down. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story. Wait a minute. Her genes, her story. HH. Uh-oh. Now, I can sit here and say the obvious, like, these corporations just want to pander to you, they just want to sell you like, yeah, obviously. But have you considered, it's good when corporations pander to me, personally? I just realized so much of American political discourse is, like, around f***ing corporations and ads. The Gillette commercial, Bud Light, Protein World. There are so many examples, like, it's just crazy how so much of our politics revolves around consuming things. I will buy blue team product. I will buy red team product. Bleak. In conclusion, we are tired of ugly. There's hot people in ads again. The white woman is back, baby. Let's go. 500 trillion more to Israel. Nobody can afford a fucking house. World is run by pedophiles. But woke is dead, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So if you like this video, please subscribe.
Little victories, okay? Little victories.
But maybe donate to me on Patreon, link down below. All Patreon members get the uncensored version of every single video a day early. So you get to hear all the f***s and shits uncensored. If you can't or don't want to do that, there's also a little tip jar down below. You can leave a little tip and I will give it a little heart. It helps the channel out and I appreciate it so much. Also, big shout out to Holtzkern again for sponsoring this video. Check them out, link down below. And I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!
Yay, yay. Oh, there it is. There it is. I always have so much to say during a Shoe on Head video. I feel like those are my best ReACT videos when it comes to actually making it transformative, you know? I need to get them more views. Maybe people will dig it. Can you dig it? Sucker. Heil Hilda. Yes, Hilda. Hildegard von Kron. Okay. I don't have anything else prepared. So let's browse, shall we? Because I got about 45 minutes left, so let us browse. How you doing today, Alex? You at work right now, or? Oh, this one might be good. Got a rental car finally? Based. Stalking, drug use, homicide. Look at Squidward. He is not having a good day. All right, let's do this one. Let's do this one. I'll record this one too, because this one could probably go up somewhere. Do you do purely comedic videos? What do you mean? Would you consider that a purely comedic video? I don't know. I think it's definitely commentary, just with some funny stuff in it. I definitely wouldn't call that a purely comedic video. Oh, okay. I understand. I thought you meant, do you only do purely comedic? Like, do you do purely, as in, do you do only? Okay, I get what you mean. I get what you mean now. Yeah. You could definitely post your recommendations. I'm pretty, yeah. You're in the server. Just post recommendations in the videos tab. Kendo Gun Shop hasn't uploaded in a year. That sucks, man. His videos are nice. I like to watch them. Like, guns aren't really my thing, but Resident Evil is my thing. So, my buddy who's also into Resident Evil is really into guns, so I would watch it and then recommend him videos from it. Yeah, let's check this out. I've heard of Sydney Sweeney. Like, I've heard of Sydney Watson, not Sydney Sweeney. This is different Sydney. I've heard of Sydney Watson before, but I've never actually seen any Sydney Watson. So let's check out this one. I'm cold reacting to this creator for the first time. Let's go.
America, please get me out of this place. I'm tired. I'm losing my tired.
Okay. Woke Fatigue by Sydney Watson. All right. Let's go.
I don't want to be a politician. I hate them.
I don't want to hear another white person say the word illegal for the rest of my goddamn life. We are living on stolen land.
All you know how to do is spew your vile, hateful, racist, lying rhetoric.
Like many of you, I am genuinely exhausted. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by...
Hold on, is that an accent? Can anybody weigh in on this? Is Sydney Watson European? She sounds like there's a little accent. I want to find that one woman and just send her a voice message with me repeatedly saying illegal now. Australian. See, I like Australians. Australians have a very, very fun accent. I'm big on accent. What's up, Marine? Australian? Nice. Thanks for the sub, by the way.
Fume. Also, children, I am going on tour in October doing 9 cities around the United States. I would love for you to come and see me. Tickets will be linked in the description box, and for a limited time for you early people, you can use the code gondola to get 20% off when you check out. See you there. It's gonna be cool. So I have wanted to make this video for quite a while now, but like similar ones that I've done recently, what has stopped me is the
her accent's not super thick. Maybe she just it's the way she's speaking. I know a lot of people, when they put on their speaking voice, right, like their public speaking voice, it usually hides how thick her normal speaking voice accent would be.
fact that there are 9 billion examples that I could choose from to illustrate my point, and that gets a little overwhelming. But in the wake of the insane meltdowns around Sydney Sweeney and Billie Eilish, and all of the commentary around
Billie Eilish,
eugenics and Nazism and white supremacy and the general screaming that we've seen on TikTok, I thought it was time to take a run at this topic.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jean.
Is this literally going to be like, just like, is this going to be basically like a different rendition of the shoe video you just watched?
Ad, so I went and saw it.
That's Nazi propaganda. Wow. We should have known Sydney Sweeney was a Republican because she's tacky as
This is what we mean when we say white people and their biases just be jumping out. Because what type of racist shit is that?
Okay, so this guy right here. Is it weird that even though he's crashing out over this kind of thing, and I would disagree with him on probably 90% of his opinions, like the second I saw this guy, I was like, that's the homie right there. Like I feel like, you know what? I feel like he would play Lily in Tekken. That's why I feel like there's like a camaraderie there. Off topic, I'd mentioned my support of you doing like RE outfit rankings. Oh, nice.
I don't want to hear now about what black people say it wouldn't have been a problem. Anti-blackness has been a global issue since forever.
Because at this stage,
Shut up and play Tekken with me.
I think that all of us have a little bit of woke fatigue. As with a bunch of other social movements recently too, I think that a huge portion of people have genuinely hit their saturation point. It's me. I'm people. For years, we have been lectured by purple-haired, septum-pierced they-thems.
Dear Mr. President of fear and division, you're not fit to lead. You belong in a prison.
We have been name-called.
White trash.
Whose judge are you? Are you our judge?
Absolutely, bitch.
You are?
You.
Shamed.
A toddler was suspended from a nursery after they were accused of being transphobic or homophobic.
And attacked for having a difference of opinion.
Why are you voting for him?
Because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh my God. You for that one.
Some people have been fired and shunned and socially ostracized or attacked on the internet because they rejected some part of this weird mass delusion that's been going on. They didn't use the right pronoun or they culturally appropriated something.
It's sorry, man.
I'm sorry. It's just so hard to not laugh at something like that. It's sir. I'm sorry, man. Like, what the fuck? If I were to have a label, I'd probably be some form of libertarian. Aspects of both sides. Yeah. Absolutely. People in the UK get arrested for making offensive comments online. Yes. Absolutely. Amelia, you're in the UK, right? I'm surprised you're allowed to be in this stream, to be honest.
And so I think the word fatigue is just so accurate in describing this
Amelia, make sure you hide all of your RaidaZERO tabs from your government. Be very careful.
exhaustion that so many of us are feeling towards the current social climate. Exhaustion with the relentless militant pressure to conform to a very, very narrow set of social justice values, where every word and every action and even silence is scrutinized for its correctness. It's burnout from a good few decades of being pressured and lectured into caring about all issues all of the time, all at once. Everything everywhere has been hyper-politicized, and for years there has been absolutely no reprieve. Until recently, where apparently we all stopped giving a crap at the exact same time and now just sit back and laugh as these people do insane things and remove themselves from the gene pool. I realize there are a few different ways that you can interpret that last sentence, but I'm referring to the fact that they're just not having kids. But I will let you pick the interpretation that you like best. So this is what I want to talk about today. Woke fatigue, woke exhaustion, how we got here, how it was accelerated, and really just remind you all of some of the things that you have probably forgotten over the years that were absolutely, completely insane. But before we do that, obviously all of my regular disclaimers, this video is by no means exhaustive. I'm not going to
live in Switzerland?
Everything.
Nice.
There's way too much. And actually, when I was planning this video, I jumped on a call with a girlfriend of mine, and together we were just listing out and going through all the things that we could think of associated with this topic and putting those in this video. I maybe got to a third of our list. It was that long. But I've done my best to give you all of the little treasures. So, my little Hell Gondola dwellers, before you once again board my Hell Gondola, and together we revisit some stuff that we probably would rather forget, let's hear from today's sponsor, Fume. Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. I was just telling my friends that are off camera how much I love breathing air. And one day, as I was enjoying a refreshing breathing sesh, as one does,
early to mid 2000s, yeah, that was my
What if
favorite.
the air I breathed tasted like mangoes? Nay, I said. One cannot breathe in mango air, lest one inhale toxic chemicals along with it. But verily, I discovered one can. With Fume. Fume is a flavored air device
If I ever disappear, assume I got arrested for insulting a politician.
It's also a way to move away from those pesky bad habits that make your wallet light and your clothes smell like you just left the bar in the
when you disappear,
1980s.
Amelia, I
And
just
more
assume that I'm
importantly,
streaming
it's
something you don't care
non-addictive,
about.
There's no nicotine, no icky chemicals,
You're
no
very
vapor.
you're a very easy
coming
person to
back
read,
it will be its
Amelia, in a good way, in a good way.
flavors and fun little fidgety device that keeps the simple monkey part of my brain entertained while I do human brain thinky tasks. Now, you might be asking, is Fume just another fancy pants vape? No, my sweet summer children. Fume ain't about that life. It wants you to be satisfied, healthy, and more importantly, able to breathe without making funny noises. And because our friends at Fume are so good at what they do, they've expanded their range to include this little magnetic base and even these cute little mouthpiece toppers. So if you are ready to say goodbye to your bad habit, then click the link in the description, scan the QR code on screen, or go to tryfume.com.
Okay, am I weird for this? Yes, I am, by the way. But that outfit that she's wearing, kind of showing off the the chesticle area there, like you those little brown spots. Am I weird for thinking that's kind of cute on a woman? Like, is that weird?
.com/Sydney. And don't forget to use code Sydney to get your free Fume topper when you order a journey pack. It might feel like wokeness and political correctness is relatively new, but that's actually not the case at all. In the 80s and 90s, political correctness in America was sort of in its first wave. At the time, the term was a way to both describe and criticize progressive efforts to curb the use of offensive language and behavior, particularly on university campuses where, during this time, policies were being enacted to block expression of certain opinions. In 1990, the New York Times published an article titled "The Rising Hegemony of the Politically Correct," where the author wrote that on college campuses,
No, I'm not talking about the outfit. I was talking about the brown spots, like on her skin, like the little brown dots. Like, I don't even know what that is. I've got them on places too, but
there was a breeding ground for a regimented leftist ideology that promoted intolerance, closed debate, and pressured others to conform to a radical program or risk being accused of a commonly reiterated trio of thought crimes: sexism, racism, and homophobia.
Clipped, edited, and cancelled.
It's been 30 years and nothing really
Freckles?
has changed. Around
that
this
what those
time,
are?
Newsweek also published something similar, with its cover image being big bold letters spelling out "Thought Police."
Though, I do like freckles too. So the difference, if there is one, wouldn't matter much to me, I guess. Because I think freckles are really cute too.
In the same year, comedian George Carlin did a series of bits mocking PC language, soft language as he called it, like trading the word handicapped for differently abled, or the word shell shock with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Americans have trouble facing the truth, so they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from it. And it gets worse with every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. And of course came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise.
You ever watch George Carlin? Of course.
That the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time.
All that language policing that we've come to know and love, it was really getting started here. But at least comedy was still legal, so, you know, little wins. By the early 2000s, the term PC had become an insult. It was a pejorative, with many arguing that political correctness generally was being used to suppress free speech, but also to suppress differing opinions. Its supporters, on the other hand, said that it was a way to promote tolerance and inclusivity, and that, importantly, nobody had the right to offend without consequences. I am not making that up. That is a direct quote that I found in an article said by a progressive, that nobody has the right to offend without consequences. Chat, are we screwed? We are so screwed. I mean, with all of this in mind, you can completely see how we ended up where we are today. Suffering, and being dictated to by people who think that sex is not an immutable characteristic.
Trans women can be biologically female.
After the September 11 attacks, debates over political correctness intensified. Media outlets avoided terms like Islamic terrorism as not to offend Muslims.
That one, actually.
Conservatives argued that this obfuscated the issue, while progressives argued that this language fueled xenophobia. Words like illegal alien were traded for undocumented migrant. Words like spaz or spastic were deemed offensive, and calling things gay was no longer socially acceptable, much to the chagrin of all of us millennials. Universities and workplaces increasingly adopted diversity training and speech guidelines. The rise of social media platforms like MySpace and Facebook in the early 2000s began amplifying public discussions and giving activists tools to call out offensive behavior. Soon Reddit and Tumblr followed, and activist communities really started to flourish online. By the way, when I use this voice, this is my quotation voice because you can't see me doing the quotation marks. Just wanted to clear that up. I think I've said this before, but I think a lot of this largely could have been avoided if we just stopped the people on Reddit and Tumblr from ever having access to the internet. Or conversely, made them stay on their side of the internet. Done a little bit of web segregation. So by the beginning of the 2010s, two very distinct camps had emerged. Those who believed that political correctness was a moral necessity, and those who viewed it as a form of censorship and another form of social control.
Even as a guy,
and then,
even as a bi dude,
all of these movements,
the F slur still makes you laugh.
And it was probably here that the foundation of the coming fatigue started for the majority of us. You know, considering a lot of us were children up until this point, and I distinctly remember running around the playground saying that everything was gay. You know, us Aussie kids grew up during this period of time, and we had fads that were a cigarette lolly, as you do. Actually, speaking of lollies, we used to be able to get these things called yogurt buds, which were like little buds of yogurt.
Guys, she's talking about lollies.
And I miss them so much, and I have not been able to find them anywhere. Someone find me yogurt buds, please. By 2014, the term woke, which had been used mainly by Black Americans to refer to awareness around racial issues, had been repurposed to describe a hyper-vigilant social justice mindset. Around this time, too, we also had the term SJW, or social justice warrior, and you all know what that is. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was never really a massive fan of the term social justice warrior, given that the vast majority of these people, if they're fighting anything, it's their own mental illness. You know, I think calling them warriors is a form of internet stolen valor, you know? Like, this is why they think they're soldiers of the progressive left. Except, like, all it takes to defeat them is asking the last time their dad hugged them. Anyway, social media platforms like Twitter.
Well, to be fair, my dad hasn't hugged me in a long time, because he's been dead for, like at least 11 years.
Facebook and Instagram turbocharged this shift, making activism instantaneous and public, allowing terms like privilege, microaggressions, and cultural appropriation to spread.
We can now say microaggressions. Now what?
Here's some other examples of microaggressions.
I guess I'm still learning how to deal with microaggressions.
The majority of the microaggressions that I've experienced in my life are related to being half Japanese.
Hashtags made issues viral, but they also created pressure to publicly align with progressive causes. In the wake of the death of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and the rise of BLM, social media exploded with calls to check your privilege or call out racism. Non-participation, such as not tweeting #BLM, was seen as complicity and a sign-off on police brutality.
So back when George Floyd was killed, I remember I reposted the famous quote by Desmond Tutu that says, "If you're neutral in situations of injustice, you're siding with the oppressor."
Making this video reminded me about all of the cops who were kneeling during the BLM protests, and all the white people who were doing those struggle sessions, basically, where they were washing black people's feet or gathering in circles to, like, apologize to them. Do you guys remember this stuff?
Oh my god, it's cult-like.
But more importantly, what the f— The mid-2010s brought about the rise of the trans movement, gender ideology as—
Wait, hold on. 2S LGBT? Like, I know they keep adding letters and stuff to it, but why is 2S before LG? What happened there? I don't even know what 2S means, but why does it supersede the original L and G? They were here first. What the fuck?
Today, fat acceptance and the massive crazy expansion of the LGBTQIA XYZ community, all of which brought about their own set of rules and regulations around language, self-ID, and their own
LGBT WTF barbecue. He's allowed to say that because he's bi and he's got a husband. He's allowed to make jokes about the gay community. The gay community.
Activist classes, which I have talked about in other dedicated videos to those topics at length, so I'm not going to rehash that here, but just know that through all of this, all of that was happening, and with the pronouns and the transing of the kids and the people identifying as toaster strudels. But those videos are dedicated and they're in depth, so I will link them in the description box if you are interested in the timeline of how we—
Like, the funny thing is, I remember when the Amazing Atheist would make fun of those people. Now he's siding with them.
all got over the LGBT movement and the trans movement. Anyway, wokeness soon became the cultural expectation, with terms like toxic masculinity and white privilege and white fragility making their way into general public mainstream discourse.
This is something I've thought about a lot and something I've spoken about a lot. There's too much of toxicity. It's masculine toxicity out there.
Even the term white fragility can like really set a lot of people off and saying, what do you mean I'm fragile? You know, like this is offensive and
she's white as fuck. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your heritage says that you're You're a POC. No, you are white. You are so extreme. You are whiter than I am, by the way. I remember when I decided I was atheist, was kind of cringe about it.
And so it's almost ironic that the term is kind of self-evocative in that way.
White people are racist, and not because they are evil, but because they were raised in racist systems, rewarded by racism, and defended by systems built on it. You are not the exception just because you are nice. You are the product. And when the system gets challenged, fragility explodes.
Here's a test for white fragility. I came across some questions for white fragility that I would like to share with you all. White fragility is a hindrance to open and honest racial conversations.
Social police.
Where was the question?
Policing was also taking place. In 2015, for example, for Halloween, Yale University emailed its students asking them to be thoughtful about the cultural implications of their costumes. When a professor responded by questioning this, both her husband was threatened by students and she was borderline asked to resign. And it wasn't long before this was happening every Halloween, with people writing entire instruction manuals on how to properly dress to avoid cultural appropriation or causing offense.
Joe Henry of the League of United Latin American Citizens has some examples of what not to do.
When you have costumes of people who appear to be Latino wearing sombreros, people who are dressed up to look as if they're African Americans, but they're not, that is offensive.
My culture is not a costume.
Bucknell University even started a campaign called My Culture Is Not Your Costume to raise awareness of the problematic nature of certain Halloween costumes. The idea of cultural appropriation at this point was very alive and well, with everything being policed, from hairstyles to dress styles to even music people were or were not allowed to produce.
And in this whole time, this whole 11 years that I've had my hair locked up, nobody said anything about me culturally appropriating. In 11 years, that's so sus. Why didn't anybody tell me anything? I'm so glad for TikTok because you're saying it like it is. I mean, and I've done all my own research, but everywhere it's like, why white people can't have dreadlocks? And I was like, I'm not white. I mean, I'm part white, but maybe that's why people haven't said anything, because they're like, she looks a little culturally ambiguous. I'm just going to leave it.
Like, what
culturally
an acceptable number of braids we can wear in our hair without it being cultural appropriate?
One. Like this one. I think that's acceptable.
Whenever I see these kinds
I mean, to be fair, I do think that's probably the most attractive braid. I don't like braided hair. It's never been my thing.
videos, I always think, well, I'm gonna braid my hair even harder now. There's also something uniquely stupid and arrogant and entitled about claiming an entire hairstyle that is present and has been present in cultures around the planet forever, basically. I mean, as long as we're talking about cultural appropriation, I had no idea that women who were, not Caucasian could have blonde, straight hair. That's crazy. How did you grow that yourself? By 2016, and
My hair is not your costume.
NFL player Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for the national anthem to protest racial inequality. By 2018, Nike had partnered with him with the performative slogan, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything," appearing on images with his face. Soon, other sports people followed suit, and many of them took a knee. Okay, all right, guys. Eventually, the involvement of politics in sports led to teams like the Indians and the Washington Redskins changing their names to avoid being racially insensitive to Native Americans. But 2020 onwards is where things went totally haywire, and honestly, for these movements and ideologies, I think it signaled the beginning of the end. Probably a combination of being locked inside one's own house, becoming fearful of sneezing, too much time alone, too much time on the internet, and the rise of TikTok. A lot of people went a little bit cuckoo-cuckoo. After George Floyd's death, I'm having so much trouble saying that, George Floyd. After he died, people went absolutely mad, and quite frankly, that's putting it mildly.
Anyone
saying Black Lives Matter too. 11, that's how many times I can't breathe, 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 I can't breathe. Eric Garner said I can't breathe before he was killed by police. So I guess those 3 words only mean stop if you're white.
I want to remind you all that politicians were crying over this guy's golden casket. I'm just, stop the world. I want to get off. This period of time gave us fiery but mostly peaceful reporting. And widespread...
I remember the mostly peaceful protests. Guys, it's just a campfire. It's just a campfire. That's all it is. It's a campfire. Those cars were already inoperable. We just used them for lumber. That's it. This is a innocent, wholesome campfire. That's it.
Scale justification for civil unrest from politicians and other...
A bit of arson is fine.
June 2020 gave us Blackout Tuesday, when people posted black squares on Instagram to show solidarity with BLM. It also gave us a bunch of these videos of, mainly white girls painting black fists on their face because, okay. University campuses were definitely still in meltdown mode, but, honestly, it seems like they never really take a break from that. Trigger warnings, which were already extremely common in academia, became ubiquitous in 2020 across social media, classrooms, and workplaces. Professors began prefacing their lectures with warnings for topics like racism or violence. We even had news outlets giving us lists of problematic movies that need warning labels, like Forrest Gump and Indiana Jones, and I am not joking. Forrest Gump is a big no-no because it has AIDS in it.
I'm sick.
Oh no.
What, do you have a cough due to cold?
The Indiana Jones one is because it doesn't accurately depict Hindus and Indians. My god, these people are so soft! I think it's really fun that Dirty Harry and Forrest Gump are on this list, but not movies like Tropic Thunder. They just don't make films like that anymore.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Honestly, the softness and the squishiness and the desire to be offended by everything is part of what makes wokeness so incredibly exhausting. It's always about managing one's feelings and validating people's individual truths and ignoring universally accepted facts. Everything is about avoiding offense and ensuring that you think about the feelings of complete strangers, lest they feel wounded or sad. Unfortunately, I am not Willy Wonka, and I don't have to sugarcoat reality. This insane overemphasis on feelings was and is to
I might be Willy Wonka.
the extent that universities like the University of Utah had cry closets for students overwhelmed by stress, and safe spaces expanded to protect against ideological discomfort. This even applied to
more like Willy Wonka. Oh.
free speech zones on campus where one could go to actually have, free speech. Because I guess the rest of the campus, they weren't allowed. Companies rolled out diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives en masse with trainings like Coca-Cola's 2021 Be Less White session, with some companies using the book White Fragility, like Coca-Cola did, as a teaching reference. I think it's worth saying that the anti-white rhetoric that has grown and metastasized over the years is honestly pretty staggering, and if I think about it too much, it's quite distressing to consider that it's made its way into basically every area of cultural and social life, like academia and politics and entertainment and what have you. And it's all done under the guise of equity and inclusion and righting age-old historical wrongs. My Irish ancestors were slaves. I would like some reparations too, please.
In honor of this, white people, stitch this. How many white people?
I make it my personal business to have complex conversations about race with any and all white people that I encounter. period.
Somewhere along this road too, especially with TikTok becoming extremely popular, we've seen the rise of self-diagnosed mental illness. The term neurodivergent went mainstream, which mostly referred to autism and ADHD, and it gained traction on platforms like TikTok where users self-diagnosed and demanded accommodations for these conditions like workplace flexibility, using their conditions as an excuse to shrug off adulthood and evade responsibility in so many cases. People started collecting labels like they were personality points, non-binary, disabled, neurodivergent, polyamorous, and became offended if others didn't properly adhere to them. And having this perpetually offended class meant that so many things were off limits, particularly humor and comedy, which have almost really kind of fully been replaced by political activism. Late night hosts and their performances became almost entirely about dunking on Donald Trump or criticizing.
Asked them who was selling and rounding up black people during the slave trade. Yeah. Who did the white people buy the slaves from? Was it white Africans? I don't think so. I don't think it was.
Criticizing the right wing. Comedians were cancelled for jokes and are cancelled for jokes, like my friend Isaac Butterfield, who is in Australia, who was brought before the Australian Human Rights Commission because he offended someone who wasn't even at his show. Television shows that were once fun and edgy have been sanitized. Actors and comedians have made massive attempts to distance themselves from their past works that would be seen as offensive by today's standards. Even YouTubers like Jenna Marbles have left the internet, kind of been forced off the internet, after being called out for previous jokes, and she did this because she just didn't want to hurt people. Suddenly, everything from 2020 onwards, or maybe even earlier, had to have this social justice hyper-political edge. And the irony is, only certain types of opinions were allowed to be expressed, while also simultaneously, everyone has to have an opinion about everything and express that opinion because silence is violence? Do you guys also remember those articles that argued that speech is violence? Because I do. This gave rise
Speech
to
is violence, silence is violence.
Political advertising, with companies insisting on making a statement about everything and anything they could. Transgenderism, obesity, gender identity, racism, identity politics. And baked into all of this is this insufferable lack of nuance. Everything to the progressive left seems to be black and white. There is no shade of gray, there is no room for nuance. Either it is or it isn't, and if it's not, you're Nazi. To these people, a statement in the affirmative means that the inverse is true. If I say that I like apples, that means that I have to hate pears. I don't actually like pears, and I do like apples, but watermelon's fine. And cantaloupe. And so this is basically where we are now with this wokeness explosion. Language has no meaning because every meaningful word has been watered down. Bigot, Nazi, xenophobe, homophobe, sexist, misogynist, etc. Terms applied so liberally to anyone who even slightly deviates from this extremely narrow social justice path. And every word you say now could be a potential crime. You can't say homeless, you have to say unhoused, otherwise you're being insensitive. You can't say illegal alien, you have to say undocumented migrant, otherwise you're being xenophobic. You can't say crazy or moron or any other words associated with people being stupid, because that might be ableist. And you're expected to remember all of these terms, all of the new terms, all of these pronouns, lest you offend somebody. And then there's all of this woke cultural guilt tripping. If you are tied to Western culture, or for these people worse yet, you are a white person, you're supposed to feel shame and embarrassed for your ancestors, because it's all about decolonizing and unlearning your heritage. Everything from hiking to gardening to breathing clean air has been labeled white supremacy. We've even been told that it's not possible to be racist towards white people. They even invented this term, reverse racism, as if that's somehow its own thing. Western culture has been designated as a movement of colonization and evil and hatred. Meanwhile, every other culture is celebrated and respected. We're told that places like the United States, for example, is the worst country on the planet, and yet everybody seems to be desperate to get in and nobody ever leaves. And these corrosive political viewpoints have made their way into everything. You want to watch a movie? No, it has to be diverse, representative, and inclusive. TV shows, ads, even video games now come with a side of social justice messaging. You can't enjoy anything without it turning into a lecture. From Netflix to cereal brands, politics is shoved into every corner of life, and it's hard to find a moment just to breathe. So it's really no wonder that everybody is exhausted. The funny thing about this is that I am sure that some of this started with the best of intentions, that these bleeding hearts and progressives did want to create a better world, especially for people who they viewed as a minority or underrepresented. But really, as this thing has grown and changed and become what it is today, all they've really done is fractured and divided people, creating victim groups and driving the rest of us away. Any goodness that could have come about as a result of these ideologies has been squashed, and people who might ordinarily have been amenable to them have been driven away. So obviously there's so much more that I could potentially say about this, but we simply don't have the time. We would be here for 1,000 years. So let me leave you with a final little thought. I am of the belief that most people within the same culture who have the same values will be decent to one another when left to our own devices. I don't think, by and large, that we need all of these initiatives and political and social ideas to force us into submission. I think a lot of people deep down are good people, they are decent people, and they want to be decent people out in the world. But forcing us to be constantly aware of all of our differences in the long run probably doesn't make for a very cohesive society. So in the end, all of the progressive screaming, the political correctness, the wokeness, the language policing, the thought policing, all these initiatives have achieved is pushing people further away and ensuring that these very same people will never ever participate in these ideologies again or ever. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out Fume using the link in the description. They've been a big supporter of this channel and I'm very fond of them, so if this is something that you struggle with, absolutely check them out. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you two are just fatigued and tired by all of this? You're so sick of all of the political, social, cultural messaging on so many issues? Are you on the other side of this where you are glad that there is this wokeness that is permeating society? Do you think it's a—
Let's be real, nobody who's on that side got this far into the video or even clicked on it.
a good thing that we are so fixated on some of these issues? Do you think it's a good thing that we police language and people's behavior? Do you think it's a bad thing that all of this is censorship and social control? What do you think of the examples that I've given in this video? Did you forget some of these things happened? Do you think that the things that did happen were good and actually it, was a net positive for society? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you are not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as leaving this video a like and a comment because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Of course, I hope you wonderful little chicken feet stay safe and well and make good choices because those are important. And I will see your wonderful little heads in the next video.
Bye. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, so looks like I got another person I could watch during my ReACT streams. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to end it here for today. Thank you guys for dropping by. Let's see. Boopity boop boop boop. Let me find somebody to redirect. Spoobity doo. Spoobity doo. Spooder doodly 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 doo. Boop. Oh, about Momo. Momo is online. Holy crap. I'll raid Momo. I think she's probably just doing her news thing, so I don't think she interacts, but I will never get another opportunity to raid Momo because she's from Japan, so she's never live during the times that I go off live. See ya. I'll raid Momo. But yeah, thank you guys for dropping by. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.